Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. Happy 2017. Wow! If this is your first time visiting my channel, please make sure to subscribe before you leave and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Morphe palette in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. This came out maybe like 3 months ago, something like that, and it sold out fairly quickly. It is very limited edition and supposedly it was like sold out, gone forever, but they did bring it back and it's in stock right now. So I decided to go ahead and upload this video today since it's going to be accessible to people again, and maybe you want to see a quick review before you make the purchase. But yeah, so this is what the packaging looks like. This retails for $14.99, which is super duper inexpensive. Kathleen Lights has a coupon code that I will include down below, and I think you get 10% off. And I do believe it's an affiliate code for her. The bad thing with Morphe is the shipping is like $8. It's ridiculous. So this is what the packaging looks like. It says Kathleen Lights, palette, Morphe, all that good stuff. And then it has like a whole bunch of like dangling lights. It looks like Christmas tree lights, but it's just dangling lights. And it's cute. It's a play on her whole Kathleen Lights and her like love of light and all that stuff. So the back has her picture, and then she has like a little message. But you do have the ingredients, and then the product contains 22.5 grams of product, which means that each pan has 1.5 grams of product, which is almost the same as like Makeup Geek eyeshadow. Most of the Makeup Geek eyeshadows have 1.8 grams of product. This is kind of different packaging for Morphe. Morphe's never really done a palette like this, but it's kind of like, it's cardboard, but it has a little bit of like a matte finish, like a matte black. And then the Morphe X Kathleen Lights, or Morphe times Kathleen Lights, is in like a metallic red. The ingredients and the amount of product and all that stuff is not on this, so if you do want to keep that or be able to reach to look at the ingredients and stuff like that, then I would definitely have you keep the box. So when you open it up, it does not have a mirror. Some people, that's like a pet peeve for them. For me, not really. I like that it bends back. Now I don't know if I broke it and it bends back or if they all bend back, but my little cardboard here popped a little bit, but I'd rather have it bend back any day. It's just, it's easier. I like it. So this is what the eyeshadows look like. They are absolutely right up my alley. I love every single one of these shades. You have 7 matte eyeshadows. This one is matte, but it has glitter in it, and I feel like it comes off more of like a satin. And then you have 7 metallic shimmery shades. You have a total of 15. All in all the mattes feel nice and creamy, with the exception of the 2 mauvier berry tones. Those feel really gritty to the touch, and a lot of people have complained that the colors don't blend well, they don't show up. I haven't had an issue. I mean, that's what I use on my eyes today, and even though they are gritty to the touch, they blend and perform really well on the eyes. A lot of people said that the black wasn't as pigmented, but it's buildable. So even if you apply a little bit, like I applied a little bit today, it still shows up as black. It doesn't look gray or anything like that. I 1000% recommend this. I'm gonna get into a like demo of how I achieve this look, and kind of like my tips and tricks for using some of the shadows, like the shimmer shadows, and how I've kind of figured out the best way to have them work on my eyes, especially that I have pretty hooded eyelids. But before we get into that, I do want to do some swatches of this. I'm gonna swatch it like a finger swatch. We all know that Morphe shadows, they always swatch really good with the finger, but I am gonna use a MAC 239 for the matte shades, and then a MAC 242 for the shimmer shades, and show you guys how they swatch with a brush. However, I don't always feel like that determines the way that an eyeshadow performs, because some of these don't swatch that great, but they apply beautifully. I honestly have not had a problem with any of these shades. I love every single one of them. Some might take a little bit more to blend than others, but for the most part, they're all effortless for me. By the way, really quickly, some of these shades are pre-existing Morphe single eyeshadows, and some of them are shadows that she created like herself in collaboration with Morphe. Like, she picked out the colors, like she created the colors basically. So I'm gonna do a close-up of this, and then I'll show you guys. I'll put a little like heart on the ones that she created. So let's get started with the swatches, and then we will jump into the demo. So I'm gonna swatch the top row, and then I'm gonna do a brush swatch next to it so you guys can see. Maybe I should do it here. Let's try it here. With the exception of these two, these applied a lot lighter with a brush, but I kind of like that because you can kind of control the shades. And this one is just really pretty because you can apply it really lightly on the crease, or you can build it up and it looks really good built up too. Okay, so now let's swatch this middle row, which has a lot of like more cool toned mauve-y berry tones. As you can see, these two have the most distinct difference. This one applies a lot less pigmented with a brush, but it does build up really, really nicely. So you can use this as a transition shade or as a crease shade, or to even deepen out the crease if you're going for a more light daytime look. So the final row has the more unique colors. These two shades are absolutely gorgeous green shades. These two are perfect. This is like a warm red and brown, and this is like that delicious camel poopy color. It's so beautiful. It's a lot like MAC Uninterrupted, which was discontinued, and like Bobbi Brown Camel. And then you have your much needed black. So the shimmers apply really nicely with the brush. The mattes apply a little bit lighter with the brush, but honestly, because I like to sometimes have a really light makeup look, or sometimes I want to go really intense, I don't mind having mattes that you can build up. Okay, so I already have my brows done. We're gonna use the Morphe, is it Morphe and or Morphe times? I don't know. The Morphe and Kathleen Lights eyeshadow palette. I use this a lot when I travel. This was like the palette that I took because it was very complete for me. It was like everything that I needed and the kind of colors that I like. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys little tricks on how I feel like these eyeshadows perform better. So you can use any eyeshadow primer. I always use eyeshadow primer when I am applying eyeshadow because I have really oily lids. This is my favorite. This is the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish shadow primer. So I always like to set my primer. Right now my eyelids are a little tacky, and that's gonna make it difficult to blend. You're gonna have a lot of parts of your eye with a lot of pigment. So I like to set it, and I like to also set it because it kind of gives you a blank canvas to work with. So right now I'm taking this shade right here. I decided to do a more like mauve toned, more berry toned look, specifically to show you guys how the shadows perform. I'm gonna start off with my transition shade, which is this beautiful shade right here. I love that shade. Now it does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but the shimmer doesn't really show up. It just gives the eyeshadow more of like a satin look. Applies nicely, blends nicely. You can definitely build it up. I'm gonna build it up a little bit more, or you can just leave it like that, like a nice light wash of color, which is what I tend to do on a day-to-day basis. We're gonna use this brush, and I'm gonna take this pinky, kind of like a pinky berry, this shade. We're gonna take that, and I'm gonna apply this more on the crease, like as my crease shade, and then I'll buff out whatever's left on the brush. Like I'll buff it up a little bit. So can you guys see how like it's pigmented, it's showing up, it's not skipping, it doesn't look choppy, it's blending out. I'm gonna take this shade right here. So just to show you guys, I dip my brush in there quite a lot. There is some kick up, tap off the excess. Let's just put this in the crease really precisely to deepen out the crease. I'm gonna take it all the way in, but I'm just gonna kind of flick it out a little bit. Just a little bit. And then just give it another quick blend at the top. One thing that I have learned with Morphe eyeshadows, the shimmers apply very intensely, especially if you use a synthetic shader brush. I feel like that's the best way to apply it, but I will say they don't wear as long when you just use them by themselves or with some Fix Plus or something. I have found that my favorite way to apply these eyeshadows is over a glitter primer or a glitter glue, especially because my eyes are hooded. So if I just apply the shimmer, it's gonna transfer all the way to the top. It's super annoying. With a glitter primer, it doesn't happen as much, and also it keeps the eyeshadows looking intense and foiled for a lot longer. I am like in love with this. This is the NYX Glitter Primer. It's like $5.99, so it's not gonna break the bank. I take that much. Can you even see it? It's so little. I'm actually gonna take this shade right here, the Glitter Primer. So it's nice and tacky. I wipe off the brush. I would recommend working on one eye at a time so that the glitter glue doesn't dry, but we're just gonna take it, and I like to pack it on like this. And then just pack it on. So I'm gonna blend this a little bit with this same brush. Just a little bit, not a lot. I have a tendency of over blending. I just don't want it to be so harsh. So I wiped off this little tiny blending brush, and I want to add, I normally would skip this, but I want to show you guys how you can build up a little bit of the black. So we're going to take a tiny bit of the black right here. So now that I placed it, I'm just going to clean up the brush again because I don't want to blend the black with a brush that has black on it. That's going to get really messy. And then because we have so much going on the eyes already, I'm just going to take the same bone shade that we used to set the eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to take that to highlight my brow bone. So this shade right here. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of this beautiful shimmer shade, the tiniest bit. And I'm only going to place this right here on the highest part of the brow. That's it. Just to give it a little bit more oomph. So I'm going to do the whole shebang. Wing liner, lashes, and I'm also going to do the rest of my makeup and then come back so we can do the lower lashes. So I'm done with the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to take a dark brown eyeliner. This is from Stila. It's in the shade Damsel, and I'm just going to line my waterline. So I'm going to go in with the flat definer brush. This is from e.l.f. and I'm just going to place this really close to the lash line. First I'm going to take this Morphe E36 brush. It's a really, really tiny, really perfect pencil brush or like a smudge brush. This one. And I'm going to blend this over the black as tight as I possibly can to the lash line. Okay, now we're going to take yet another Morphe brush. This one is the Morphe M506. I'm going to take this brown shade to just give everything a final blend. I'm going to take the same shimmery shade that we used just on the highest point of the brow, and I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corner. I'm actually going to clean out that same pencil brush, the E36. And for the last step, apply some lower lash mascara. And that's it. That's the whole look. You guys, honestly, this is some good eyeshadow. I mean, for the price, I think that if you're on a budget, or if you've never tried Morphe eyeshadows, or if you just want another eyeshadow palette, I think this is a really good buy. It's $14.99. And like I told you guys, using the glitter glue, it's not really transferring to the top, considering the fact that I have hooded eyes and that always happens to me. I highly, extremely 1000% recommend this. Get your hands on this. It sold out really quickly last time, I think like in 2 days. Don't miss out on this. It's really, really good. So that does it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. I really, really hope that this helped make your decision for you. I genuinely recommend these. I think they're great. I think it's a great affordable palette. Make sure to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Please leave your comments down below. Give me your thoughts. Do you have this palette? Do you like it? I love you guys so, so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.